This episode is Le'iloi Nishmas, my aunt. May her neshama, may her soul have an aliyah. May her soul be uplifted. For Siman, Reish Lamed Tes, Aruch Chaim, Aruch Hashulchan. Yisa bebrachos, it's brought in Masechta Brachos, Afdalet Amid Beis. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, Afal pi shakar. Afal pi shakara adam kriya Shma bebeis hakneses. Even though a person has said kriya Shma, has said Shma in shul, it's a mitzvah likroso amitaso. There's a mitzvah for him to read the Shma on his bed. Shnemar, as it says, imro bilvavachem al mishkavachem. It says you should say it. Chazal are going to explain it right now. Amru mashikas mashe kosfu al levavacha. What does it mean on your heart? Al mishkavachem, when you lie down. Shnemar, as it says, how do we know that? Uvashach when you lie down. The im Talmud Chacham hu, if the person is a Talmud Chacham, which someplace in the Gemara Brachos, Rashi defines a Talmud Chacham as someone who's continuously involved in his learning, not necessarily based upon Torah knowledge, but based upon the way he conducts himself, and he's constantly involved in his learning. There could be other definitions as well. Maybe the Aruch Hashulchan will define over here. The im Talmud Chacham hu ein tzarich. If he's a Talmud Chacham, he does not need to say the Shema. Since he's accustomed in his learning, he's regularly learning. Dayo b'kach. That's enough. That's enough for him to receive his protection from Hashem. He has not said protection yet, but we'll see. The Av Talmud Chacham, even a Talmud Chacham, however, tzarich loymar chad psuko derachim. He needs to say one pasuk of mercy. Kagon, biyad chav kiruchi, he can say, in your hand I entrust my soul, my spirit. Klomar says to say, Dinahi de likros kriya Shma shezeo kilimud Torah. Granted, reading kriya Shma, this is like learning Torah. Ein tzarech Talmud Chacham. The Talmud Chacham doesn't need to do that. He's saying that over here, we're saying Kriya Shema does not mean Kabbalah's O Malchus Shemaim. The Kriya Shema of being Mekabel, of accepting the yoke of the kingdom of heaven, that is a separate Kriya Shema than what we're saying over here, according to what we've said so far. That Kriya Shema was said by Marv. So, by the evening prayers. This Kriya Shema is a separate Kriya Shema. It's similar to learning Torah. Therefore, since the Talmud Chacham is already learning, that's how he's defining a Talmud Chacham, not someone who's very smart, not what would translate to a Talmudic scholar. Over here, the Talmud Chacham means someone who's always involved in his learning. So he might not even be a scholar, according to maybe he's just a young yeshiva bacher, so he hasn't had time to accumulate much knowledge, but he's always learning. So that person he doesn't need to say Kriya Shema. So even a Talmud Chacham needs to say one pasuk of Rachamim. Here we're saying that granted he doesn't need the Torah, but he does need compassion from Hashem. We all need compassion, regardless of what our level is. So, Kigon, he could say, Biyad chav kiruchi. That's part of the Adon Olam. In your hand, I entrust my soul. If you think about that, it's totally amazing, because I'm used to thinking that Adon Olam is just a song. But if you think about it over here, Adon Olam is able to accomplish something that Kriya Shema can't. Because you see, for a Talmud Chacham, he doesn't need to say Kriya Shema. There may not even be a point. He's already learning Torah, so why say Kriya Shema? But he does need to say Biyadcha of Kiruchi. He's not asking Hashem. It's a lot of times in the Gemara when it says Boi Rachamim, a lot of times it's referring to tefillah, to prayer. Over here, it's not prayer, but it's acknowledging that Hashem is doing us an enormous kindness, and he's saying, I'm putting my ruach, I'm entrusting you with my spirit when I go to sleep and when I awake. Hashem is with me, and I am not scared. Those words itself is something that is very close to a prayer, and it would qualify as Boye Rach, is needing compassion, but it also allows people to say that on Shabbos, on days when we're really not allowed to say a prayer. So we see that Adon Olam could accomplish something that Torah learning can't, which can give you a little bit more chashivas for the Adon Olam. So you have to wonder whether the song that we sing to our kids before they go to sleep, we say Shma and we sing Hamalach HaGoel. I have to reflect more upon the song Hamalach HaGoel, but maybe the real song perhaps should be Adon Olam. Maybe that should be the song that we sing before we put our kids to sleep. Klaimar, so says Aruch Hashulchan, as if to say, Didn't he delikros kriya Shma shezel kalimat Torah ein tzarachat Talmud Chacham? Granted, by kriya Shma, which is like learning Torah, a Talmud Chacham doesn't need to say Sherei Ragel Torah because he's regularly learning Torah. It's interesting that the Hebrew word Ragil translates in English. You could translate to the word regularly, basically the same word. Nevertheless, pasuk shehu ke'ein tefillah tzarich lomar. A pasuk which is like tefillah, he needs to say. V'chol hakorei kriya Shma al mitaso. Anybody who reads kriya Shma on his bed, it's ke'ilu oches cherev. It's as if he grabbed a sword, shel shtei piyos biyado, of two blades in his hand. Even in regards to like safety, there will be no spiritual safety, no demons and no. Shnemar, as it says, Yalzu Chasidim Bechavod Raninu Amish Kvosam. And he translates, Kolomar, as if to say, Shemarchik Mimenu Hamazikim, the demon. Fine. We say over there, one who enters Tibet, okay, he says, Shema Yisrael, Tavahayim Shemoah. He says, Baruch HaMapel Chavlei Shena, which does not include that particular pasuk. And from this mashma, it's mashma de mitchila korei Shema. But here we're asking, there's a stira. Okay, there's a contradiction in the Ram. The Rambam says to do it in the opposite order from what the Gemara says. The Gemara says first you say Shema, then you say the bracha, which would actually fit in very well with the life, with the way we fall asleep, because a lot of people will not talk after they make the bracha until they fall asleep. And the Gemara is saying is to do that. First say Shema, and the bracha should be the very last thing that you say. The Rambam, which is the way it's brought down, we do in our Sidurim, the Rambam says to do it in the opposite way. So this is a question. Why does the Rambam say to do it differently than the Gemara? What's going on over here? Okay, so ve'ator ve'shulchan aruch, Kosfu kilashon haGemara. The Torah and the Shulchan Aruch say to follow the Gemara, but Kosfu shekin ikar, and that's what you should do. And Lavush writes like the Rambam, the Tema ala Rambam, and it's a big question on the Rambam. Because he changes from what the Gemara said to do. Very gam berif, and also the Rif hagirsa kamo b'Gemara. The Rif also, his girsa is just like the Gemara. Everybody says to do it in one way, and the Rambam says to do it the other way. And why would the Rambam do that? Veneerly, and it appears to me that our Rambam bekavana shina milashon Gemara. It appears to me that Rambam purposely changed from the language of the Gemara. Why would he do something like that? For the reason that we will explain in Sif Hey. So right now we're holding only in Sif Beis. For the reason that we're going to explain in Sif Hey. Oh, so we're not there. We're not in Sif Hey yet. So the Kosfa, Torah Shulchan Aruch, and the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch, they write, V'shav basaser elyon, that's another paragraph you should say, V'hu nikra shir shal pagayim, shem mag b'nei mazikin, this is called the song of a pega, which is like plagues. Shem mag b'nei mazikin, this is called the song of a pega, which is like plagues. This is a shir shel pagayim. Why? So the Gemara in Shavuos apparently says the word shemagin mipnei hamazikin. So mazikin is also apparently not just something which, whatever mazikin is, it's not just something that causes people's thoughts to not be in line with Torah, and it could lead to sin, but it also can cause sickness. We're going to focus right now on the paragraph that says it's the shir shel pagayim. If we were to pick one paragraph out, I think that's one that is the most interesting one. Yoshe b'seser elyon is called the shir shel pagayim. That's a tremendous thing. So we're going to do Yoshe b'seser elyon. This is Tehillim, Sadi Aleph, 91. Yoshe b'seser elyon. He who dwells in the shelter of Hashem, in the Most High, abides under the protection of Hashem. So if you dwell in the shelter of the Most High, then you have his protection. If you're Yoshev B'Seser Elyon, then you're betzil shakai yislonon. Omar la Hashem, I call to Hashem, machsi tzudasi, my refuge and my fortress. Elokai eftach bo, my God in whom I trust. He saves you. Kihu yatzilcha mipach yakush. He saves you from the fowler's snare. And midever ha'uvos, that's where we get the pega in, and from the destructive pestilence. He saves you from the destructive pestilence, from destructive sickness. With his pinions he covers you, and under his wings you find refuge. His truth is a shield and armor. Do not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that ravages at noon. It's saying, don't have any fear of this. Lo sira mi pachad laila, don't be scared of the pachad at night. Mechetz, from the arrow ya'uf yomam, that's out during the day. Mi dever, from the dever, a pandemic, or ba'ofal yahaloch, mi ketev yashut zaharaim, yipol mitzidcha elef urvava mi yamincha. Though 1,000 fall at your side and a myriad at your right hand, which would in 10,000 at your right hand, it shall not come to you. You have only to look with your eyes and see how evil men are punished. Rak be'einecha sabi. Just look with your eyes. V'shilum mas rishayim. You will see that rishayim actually are paid back. It's not saying over here, by the way, that people who appear to be suffering, that means they're a rasha. All it's saying is that if you look at people who were established to be Rishayim, it's saying here, look back and you'll see that they were paid back. So maybe not right away, but eventually they were paid back. So it's referring probably more so to history, not something that's taking place. Nothing is taking place now. When you have made the Most High your shelter, no disaster shall befall you or come near your tent. So El Yom Samta Meonecha, when you make the mighty one, Meonecha, your shelter, then nothing bad will come to you. V'nega lo yikrav bi'alecha. There's going to be no nega, no affliction will come to your tent. Apparently not even come close. Ki malachav yitzavelach, for he will give his angels command over you, lishmarcha, to protect you, b'chol derachecha, in all of your ways. Al kapaim yisauncha, they will bear you upon their hands, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Pentigo be'evan reglecha, al shacha b'fesen tidroch, you shall tread upon the lion and the asp. You shall trample the young lion and the serpent and the snake. The sanin, the snake. Because he clings to me, I will lift him up, I will deliver him. Shmi, I protect him because he loves me. Yikraeni ve'enehu, when he calls upon me, I answer him. Imo anochi b'tzara, I am with him when he is in trouble. Achaltzeh v'chabdeu, I rescue him and bring him to honor. I enrich him with a long life and let him witness my deliverance. Oirech yamim aspiyeu ve'er'eu b'shuasi, oirech yamim aspiyeu ve'er'eu b'shuasi. All right, so first we say that. It's called the Shir Shal Pagayim. And then we say Baruch Hashem Bayom, Baruch Hashem Balayla. Baruch Hashem Bayom, Asher Biyado Nefesh Kol Chai, Ruach Kol Basar, Ish Biyadcha. Oh, here it is. Biyadcha Af Kidruchi. But the actual pasuk is a little bit different than Adon Olam. Biyadcha Af Kidruchi. In your hand I place my spirit. Padisa Osi. O Lord faithful Hashem, you saved me. Padisa Osi Hashem Kel Emes, the God of truth. So it could be that's actually the pasuk that the Talmud Chacham should say. Maybe he should be careful to say that pasuk. Biyad chav kidruchi patisa osi Hashem kel emes. So again, he writes Yoshe b'Seser Elyon. We say that that's the Shir Shal Pagayim. A big chiddush over here. The source for that is Masechta Shavuos Daf Tes Vav Amud Beis. By the way, and you say Hashem Marabu Tzarai until La Hashem Ayeshua. Okay, we have two words added on, V'chasecha Sela. But he says to say until Hashem HaYeshua. That's, you say that second paragraph, the Hashem Marabu Tzarai, but he doesn't include the last two words. Okay? This is from the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch, being quoted by the Aruch Hashulchan. He doesn't say to say the last two words. Okay? And then you say Baruch Hashem Bayom, Baruch Hashem Balayla. So in our Sidurim, after those, besides those two words, there's a paragraph called Hashkivenu. But right now, the order is, we skip it. We say Baruch Hashem Bayom, Baruch Hashem Balayla, Baruch Hashem B'Shachvenu, Baruch Hashem B'Kumenu, Vayomer Hashem Al Satan, Yigar B'Cha Satan. And then Yivarechecha Hashem. You say Yivarecha Hashem until the Yasim L'Cha Shalom. We insert Hamalach HaGoel in between all this, according, I think this is the Birnbaum Siddur. Then he says to say Ashkivenu. Ours seems to be a little bit out of order. Mevor B'Shvus is explained in Masechta Shvus over there. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Amar. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said Lahu to them, Lahani Kroi V'Gani. Kloimar. He translates it over here, as if to say, V'Haya Yashim Mitoch Psukim. And he should sleep from these Psukim Elu. This is how he should go to sleep. Uparach Hashas. So the Gemara asks, V'ha Asur Li Hisrafos B'Divrei Torah. It's like insomnia is an illness. And here we're using Torah to heal he's going to fall asleep from these words. So the Gemara says, but it's fracked. The Gemara asks, but it's forbidden. It's forbidden to use Torah as a refuah. It's forbidden to lihis rafos b'divrei Torah. Mitaretz, and the answer is lahagin shani. But if you're doing it for protection, if you're using the Torah to protect you, then it's different. Klomar is to say, kishu chayla, when a person's chayla and he's sick, kishis rapte al yadam, so to use the Torah as a refuah, as a medicine, so that he'll be able to get better, aser. That you're not allowed to do. Ki ein misrafim b'divrei Torah. Because we do not heal ourselves with words of Torah. K'mashu kasav HaRambam, like the Rambam writes in Perek Yud Aleph, the 11th chapter, Me'akum, from the laws of Avodas Kochavim, Din Yud Beis, V'zel Lashon, this is his Lashon, Shehein bichlal ha'koifrim b'Torah. The following are included in the category of those that deny the Torah, the koifrim shein osin divrei Torah refuas guf, that they make the words of Torah a refuah for the guf, for the body, that it heals the body. Ve'enon ela refuas nefashos. But Torah can only be a refuah to the nefesh. I believe that's what it's saying, but not to the guf. Aval habari, but the healthy person, Shekara Psukim, who reads Psukim, Mizmor Mitahillim, and Zmiros from Tehillim, Kadei Shetagin Alav, so that he'll be protected, Schus, there'll be a Schus Kriyasan, Shetagin, let the Schus should protect him, the Schus Kriyasan, the Shetagin Alav Schus Kriyasan, the Yinatzel Mitzaros Uminazakim, he reads it so that the merit of reading it and will save him, will protect him and save him from suffering and from damages, some type of damage, illness. Harei zeh muter. This is permissible. Ad kan lashono. V'nispire, and we explain b'yoredeya simin kuf ayin tov tes. We explained in Yoredeya simin 179. The main purpose of saying Kriya Shma Lamita is only to protect you from mazikin. Either that can mean demons or whatever. It's something that can produce hirhurim ra'im, inappropriate thoughts, possibly can cause damage to the body, maybe a sickness. Umashe ashas lo parachas. This that the Gemara didn't even ask this question is mishum de Kriya Shma karin tamid l'chayva. It's because Kriya Shma it's continuously an obligation to read Kriya Shma. Ain't tema al kriyason. So you can't ask a question on reading it. Gam lahagin. Also on protection. Ain't tema al kriyason. Gam lahagin. Also on its protection. We always, I think what he's saying is that we always say Kriya Shma for protection. Aval elu ha-psukim she'ein kriyason l'chova. But these psukim that are not ein kriyason l'chova klal, they're chiyuv. Reading it is not a chiyuv at all. We might think that it's forbidden to do. Umetaretz, and we answered the gamza mutter. Also, this is permissible. In that you could find in the first parak kama de brachos, the first parak of brachos, the teretz of the ri, the gam harif hevizeh. So the Ri brings this as a teretz. I guess you'll find it in the Tosfos, in Mesach the Brachos. The Gam Harif Evizeh Parak Kamasham. And also the Rif brings this in the first parak over there. That's the first three sifim. I thought we would get through two simonim, but we got through three sifim. So this probably corresponded to day number 333 within the Aruch Hashulchan Yomi cycle. It wasn't all of it, but it was plenty, and Emir Tzashem will finish the rest soon. Emir Tzashem, Bli Neder. I hope everybody enjoyed and got something out of it. If you have any questions, feel free. I don't know if I left contact information or not, but if you have that, so feel free to ask questions or to comment and to make your contributions to this discussion over here. I would love to hear people's ha'aras, their insights, and things like that. Yesher koyach to everybody. And I wish everyone hatzlacha.